Yo, what's going on, faithful? It's your boy Mike from the Nothing But Niners crew, here to bring you guys some breaking news. This news has been coming for a long time. We've kind of touched on it before in the past, but now it's official. The 49ers have announced some team hires to the coaching staff and to the training staff and things like that. We're going to break all of that stuff down here again for you guys. So before we get down to the nitty gritty, we have to go through the formalities. Guys, check us out at the website, www.nothingbutniners.com. All right, you're going to see a bunch of good articles written by a bunch of great people. You're also going to see our social media handles. Our Twitter and Snapchat are nothing but nine ERS. Our Facebook and our Instagram are nothing but Niners. It's spelled all the way out. It's all spaces in between and everything. I am 49ers Mike _NF on Twitter. Nick is 49er Faithful 365 on Twitter. And my man Nick, what's going on, baby? How you feeling over there?
What's up, Mikey? What's up? See you out there in the work truck, chilling it up today, working. But things are going well, man. I'm just finally happy that we got the confirmation on the hires that we were suspecting. Finally, the team came out with hires, and there was actually a few other ones as well that came out today. So I guess, just going to get down to the nitty and gritty and talk about what they are.
Yeah, so we're going to go based off of the article that's on nothingbutniners.com. So if you guys want to reference anything that we're saying, make sure that you stop by and take a look at everything over there, okay? Now, we'll just go through the coaching staff titles first because that's the first thing that's listed there. There's Daniel Bullocks, who's going to be the safeties coach. Shane Day, we already knew about, the quarterbacks coach. Wes Welker, the wide receivers coach. Zach Yinser is the assistant offensive line coach. And then there is Bobby Slowick, offensive assistant, and Miles Austin, offensive quality control coach, and then Brian Flores, defensive quality control coach. Nick, I know you got some notes on these guys over there. So we already talked about Shane Day. We talked about Wes Welker. We talked about Miles Austin. Let's start with Daniel Bullocks. I wonder if Scott hears that name, he thinks something different than what we think. Isn't that like slang over there somewhere? Bullocks. Anyway, what do you got on our new safeties coach?
All right, so Bullocks. That's so funny. He said Scott with Bullocks. Where did I just put? I'm looking for Bullock's notes that I just did here. So, actually, there was nothing on him. There was nothing on him on 49ers.com at all.
Oh, he wasn't one of the guys listed on the
No.
Oh, interesting. Okay. Well, tell me what you think the safety coach is going to do then, because this is this is interesting to me because the safety position is one of these things where there's a lot of people who think that we need a lot of help there. I'm not one of those guys there, and so I really want to know what you think, or what you think he's going to bring to the coaching staff, because I have his information here. He was an assistant coach with the Jaguars. He also played football professionally as a safety in the NFL. This was with the Lions from 2006 to 2010. So he's relatively young. He's only 35 years old, from Chattanooga, Tennessee. He's one of these guys that, if you look at this coaching staff, he fits right in. They're going young. There's not a lot of old people on this coaching staff, and we'll talk about the ages of some of these guys and their history and everything like that with their coaching experience and all. But you got his information over there? You ready to break it all down or no?
No, I don't have anything on Bullock, so.
All right, cool. Let's go. I got it here. So, like I said, he was with the Lions from 2006 to 2009. As a coach, he was with Northern Iowa from 2012 to 2014 as their DB coach. He was also with Eastern Michigan in 2015 as their cornerbacks coach. And he's with us now from 2017 to present as the assistant DB coach. So it looks like he's got a little bit of a bump up, I'm assuming. All right. Let's see here. If there are any special notes here, on January 22nd, 2016, he was announced as the assistant defensive backs coach with the Jacksonville Jaguars. And we all know how we felt about the Jaguars defense in their secondary the last couple of years. So that's a positive sign here. Him along with Ray Woods is going to be a positive thing for this team in the secondary. So there's not a whole lot to touch on there. But again, a young guy, 35 years old. I mean, that's me being a coach. I don't think I would be able to do it, but it's pretty cool seeing that the 49ers, Kyle Shanahan, and his staff have a lot of faith in the younger guys that are out there. So he's going to be out there helping the safeties. Really quick, Nick, just your opinion. Do you think that the Niners are as bad at the safety position as it seems to be like one of the top three needs for a lot of people?
I don't think we're as bad as people make it seem. I do think that we could use a little bit help there just because we're not really sure, and I don't want to say not sure, how Adrian Colbert's going to bounce back. We do have some young guys that filled in correctly. I think with the new coaches coming in, they'll learn a little bit different. I think right now it's just youth that we have. It's not so much athleticism; it's more youth, more of a youth thing, to where they need to hit the books a little harder, learn from their mistakes, and move on, and not hold on to their mistakes as much. So I wouldn't put it as a top three need. I wouldn't put it over edge, linebacker, and probably corner. But I would put it probably fourth or fifth need.
Interesting, interesting. I have that even behind running backs. I think we need a reliable running back more than we need another safety. But that's neither here nor there. That's not really the purpose of this video. This is all going to be about the breaking news. So Daniel Bullocks is one of the guys who is now Daniel Bullocks is one of the guys who was added to this coaching staff. And again, from the Jacksonville Jaguars in 2016 as their defensive assistant coach or assistant defensive backs coach. It's pretty cool. Like he specialized in just one thing. You'll see with like when you look at Shane Day, for example, how he worked with tight ends. He worked with the offensive line. Now he's working with the quarterbacks. There's a couple of guys on this roster who have moved all over on one side of the ball. Bullocks is not one of them. He has stayed in the secondary, DBs, cornerbacks, DBs, and now with the safeties again. So let him specialize in what he does. Hopefully he can get that long-term, like our running backs coach with Bobby Turner, how he's specifically been doing that for so long. So, all right, next on the list, man. You ready to keep it moving?
Yep.
All right, so we're going to talk about Zach Yinser, our assistant offensive line coach. He's the next guy on the list here, and I'm going to hand it over to you, man.
All right, so Yinser was 35 years old, another young guy. Let's start it. He was a 4-year starter at Troy. In 08, he was an O-line coach at Colquitt High School. 2010 to 2011, he coached offensive line as well. 2012, he was an assistant line coach, and then O-line coach for University of Cali in all those years, 08, 2010, 2011, 2012. He was the O-line coach there. 2018, he was O-line coach at Enterprise High School. And 2015 through 2017, recently, he was a run game coordinator / O-line coach at the University of Kansas. So he has more O-line. He was a 4-year starter at Troy, coached O-line from 08 to 2018. And then the only other difference was a run game coordinator.
Makes you wonder why we're pulling someone from a high school, right? Like, I wonder what the connection is there that we don't see, that we don't know. You know what I mean? It's not often that you see someone go from college down to high school and then to the pros, unless he was doing something where he was offered something, had to wait it out, kind of. You know what I mean? And you go back home and you do something with the local team, and then you take your bump back up. I've seen it happen like that before. But you said that he was with a high school, right? You say
Yeah, he was actually with two. He was Enterprise High School and Colquitt High School, two high schools from 2008 to 2015, and then 2018 he took another O-line coach position at Enterprise High School.
So interesting, man. That I'm going to put a little star next to his name because I'm going to be paying attention to how the offensive line shakes out. Because coming from a high school to the NFL, I wonder what that means, like what we're going to be running. High schools, you think like spread a lot of passing, you know what I mean? So it's very interesting to see how this is going to play out. All right. The next guy on the list here is Bobby Slowick. I don't know if I'm saying his name right, but it's Bobby Slowick in my mind. And he is the offensive assistant, plain and simple. Nick, floor is yours, bro.
I didn't have anything on him as well on 49ers.com. I searched him and I couldn't pull anything up.
All right, so let's see if we can find anything on him really quick. Bobby Slowick. I don't recognize his name. And let's see if I can find anything else here. All right, so I don't know if this is necessarily a a change. It says he's in the 6th year in the NFL, second season as a 49ers defensive quality control coach. So
Yeah.
he was previously the defensive quality control coach, and now they're moving him to the offensive assistant. That's kind of strange. We think of the defensive quality control coach; those are guys who, all right, maybe not. They watch the film to study the team tendencies and let the coaching staff and the coordinators know what the opposing team does. So maybe that's his tie there. Okay, he was with Washington. Let me see here. This is a 6th year in the NFL, second season of the 49ers defensive quality control coach. Slowick worked with Washington Redskins as a defensive assistant 2011 and 2013 and a video assistant in 2010. All right. He worked closely with the outside linebackers Rob Jackson and Brian Kerrigan. All right. Jackson started 14 games. All right. We don't need to hear about Jackson. That's really all there is about him. He looks really, really young. I don't see his age on here, but he looks super young.
Super young, yeah.
Let me see here. I wonder if this is. No, this can't be the same guy, is it? Bobby Slowick is an American football coach and current defensive coordinator for the Montreal Alouettes. What are the odds of him having the same exact name as this guy? Yeah, this is this him? Yeah, this is him. He's the defensive coordinator for the Montreal Alouettes.
Oh, really?
He looks young. This dude is 64 years old. Because it says here 2012, 2013 as a linebackers coach. So this is kind of strange. All right, a defensive coordinator. How did he become the offensive assistant? It says he was also defensive coordinator for the Denver Broncos, Green Bay Packers, Cleveland Browns, and Chicago Bears in the NFL. He's also been a coach for Rutgers, East Carolina University, and the Dallas Cowboys. Huh. That's really, really interesting. But the dude, something ain't right here. I don't know. I think we're getting pranked. Look at the picture.
Yeah, that's not him. That's definitely not him because he entered the NFL as a video assistant with Washington in 2010. He was responsible for the breakdown of upcoming opponents. He helped the video department's operation, which included assisting the coaching and scouting staff. A native of Green Bay, Wisconsin, Slowick attended Michigan Tech University, where he played wide receiver for the Huskies and earned an All-GLIAC honors in 2008. The son of former NFL defensive coordinator Bob Slowick.
So we got a junior.
He majored in biomedical engineering at MTU.
All right. So we got a Bobby and a Bob. That's what it is. I was reading his dad's information.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. But that means pedigree, though. All right. I like that. Okay.
I was going to say, if that dude is 60 some odd years old, I'm drinking the wrong water.
Right. Exactly, man. Because he looks like he's our age, dude. Okay. All right. Now I feel a lot better. All right, man. Let's keep this thing moving because, oh, my God, that was a little scary right there. All right, Nick. The next guy is our defensive quality control, and that is going to be Brian Fleury.
All right, so Fleury, let's see here. Fleury's 39 years old, 3 seasons in the front office with the Dolphins as a team director of football. Research from 2017-2018. He was a football research analyst in 2016. He was with the Browns in 2014 as an assistant linebackers coach, outside linebackers in 2015. 2013, he was a Bills secondary special teams court and a special teams coordinator. 2009 through 2012, 2005 through 2008, he was a secondary coach at Sacred Heart University and defensive coordinator, special teams, and outside linebackers coach as well there.
All right. So, did you say how old he was?
39.
Another guy in his 30s. All right. So, what do you think, man? Overall thoughts on anything? Just waiting to see what happens. You got to remember that this is the type of position that most of these guys come to get their start in the coaching ranks. You know what I mean? But it seems like he's got a lot of stuff under his belt already. So
I kind of like the 3 seasons under the front office, teams director of football and research and football research analysis from 2016 to 2018. He helped with like I said, linebackers coach in 2014, outside linebackers in 15. 2013 through 2015. Bill's secondary coach and special teams, so coordinator. So he's got a little bit of a mix of everything from outside linebackers to secondary coach. So I kind of like the move. We'll see what happens. It's just versatility and differences, different intakes and outtakes on a certain person, and he's probably one of the oldest guys on the thing other than Shane Day, because I think Shane Day is 44.
Yeah. Yep. 39 and 44. You're absolutely right there. Like you said, diversity. He's been all over the place trying to get his feet wet in the coaching ranks. So you're going to continue to work your way up the ranks. This is his second defensive quality assistant coach. So this is going to be a lot of fun. Hopefully, we can show some dominance here. All right. Now it's time for the important part of this all. All right. We talked about Miles Austin already. We're not going to touch on that. The health and performance staff. This is something that I said the Niners needed to make a move on. I wanted a new strength and conditioning coaches and all that stuff, and the entire staff needed to be reworked because we were just getting injured far too often. And what was the disappointing part was that we were getting injured as guys were moving up and being prepared to play as starters. Guys would be healthy when they're on the practice squad and when they were down below. And they bump up because another injury, and then boom, they're injured right away. So I was like, all right, we got to do some shuffling of this defense, of this coaching staff. So they have made some announcements. We're going to start with the head of player health and performance. All right. This is Ben Peterson. Now, I don't have a definition of what any of these titles are. All right. But here's what I imagine his responsibilities are going to be before we get to who he is. All right. Head of player health and performance. I think that this is going to be the guy that is going to assess somebody and say whether or not they are healthy to play. You can tell me if you agree with that or not, but that's what I think it is. And this is going to be important for guys like Matt Breida, who would get banged up, go to the sideline, miss a series or two, and then to put right back out there. Jaquiski Tart, this is something that happened with him a lot. Reuben Foster, it happened with so much while he was here in that short little stint. Boom, get something, a little nick, a little ding. All right, go back out there. Boom, you're banged up again. Joshua Garnett. These are guys who are in and out, in and out, in and out. Jimmy Ward. And I'm not talking about from one game to another. I'm talking about in the same game. These guys were just yo-yoed, in and out, in and out, in and out. Hopefully some stability here, a change of someone who's in charge of that. And I think that's what the head of player health and performance is going to be. Your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, he's got a little bit of a background basically in like analytics, like contextual analytics. So basically measuring training loads and biomarkers to improve performance outcomes and reduce soft tissue injuries of their athletes. So because he worked around the league with every major professional team, well, league, I don't want to say team, every major professional league, NBA, hockey, football, all those types of things prior to his time in Philadelphia. So he's 34 years old. He joins the 49ers after spending more than 2 years as a director of sports science with the Philadelphia Flyers of National Hockey League. There with the Flyers, he integrated strength and conditioning, sports medicine, physical therapy, and nutrition. Like I said, he was a director of research and analytics for Catapult, a global category leader in elite sports technology. That's where he worked with all those professional league, like every major professional league. He's got a PhD in exercise physiology from the University of Minnesota, a bachelor's degree from Northwestern University, 3 years as a graduate research assistant at Minnesota while working as a director of performance at P3. He also spent 1 year as a strength and conditioning intern at Minnesota and an assistant strength and conditioning coach with Major League Baseball's Minnesota Twins.
One of the trends that you're going to notice with this new strength and conditioning staff is that a lot of them have backgrounds in the analytics side, which is going to be really, really helpful. They're going to focus on how to strengthen or condition or stretch very specific injuries. It's not just going to be, all right, I need to get healthy and get back out there. All right, let's go work on your legs. Let's do some leg presses. No, we're going to learn to target very specific spots, very specific, biceps, triceps, specific things to strengthen versus to stretch it out. All right, this was a tear. Maybe you don't need to try to build or bulk it. Maybe you need to just make sure it's loose and things like that. So I think that this is going to be a great move. Like I said, this is going to be a good trend that we're going to notice here throughout all of these. What I liked about Ben Peterson, I don't know if we talked about this, just you and I, if this was something that we discussed on video, but coming from hockey, I love that there's a hockey background here because we might think football is the most violent sport. Hockey's up there too, man. Hockey's up there, and if you can go out there and you can be successful in the NHL, I am 100% sure that you can be successful in the NFL as well. All right, so I like it. I like the background, the PhD, and what was it again? You were telling me that he had a PhD in something, and I was like, oh damn, that sounds valuable too.
Yeah, applied exercise physiology.
There you go. Applied exercise. Like
Yeah.
it's not like that. That's exactly what I was talking about. It's not just a matter of going out and just working out, but this is how it's going to help you and benefit what you're doing. You're not just doing exercises just to do it. It's going to help you get better by doing this. So that's pretty cool. All right. Next up is Dustin Perry. He is a head strength and conditioning guy. Now, again, this is what I think of. If you're talking about the football team as a group, as a mass, just a regular workout day, everyone's going to come in here. This is what we're going to do. He's the strength and conditioning guy. He's the one that's going to go out there and come up with the general workout regime for the guys. Maybe even some meal prep and things like that. Your thoughts or your little rundown on Dustin Perry over there, Nick?
Well, Dustin Perry was a head strength and conditioning coach with the 49ers. Well, he's the head coach. He's the head guy now after spending time as the team's assistant in 2018. So anyway, so prior to joining us as the 49ers, he spent 4 seasons, 2012 to 2016, as an assistant strength and conditioning coach at the University of Minnesota. Oh, so look, there's a little key there. Minnesota, him and Peterson. During his time at Minnesota, Perry developed off-season and in-season programs for wide receivers and running backs, integrated position-specific programs, and oversaw the education of players seeking advice on supplementation.
All right. So then that tells me that he's going to be watching what the intake and things like that are, which is what I was talking about, the meal prep and all. He's replacing Ray Wright, which is something that I was excited about. No offense to Ray Wright, and wish you well and all that stuff, but I did not want him here. His history from Washington just wasn't good. He brought the same little tendencies and all that stuff here as well. This is going to be a good thing. I feel really, really positive about this, man. And it says something that when a staff is released, but an assistant is kept, that often tells you something. And this might be something that people aren't necessarily going to think about. Oh, it's just someone who they wanted to keep in the building. Not necessarily. If you disagree with the staff, but you work for them, you know what I mean? So it's like my manager got fired, but they wanted to keep me in there. Actually, they want to promote me, not maybe the manager, but they like me. That means that I probably had different ideas of how things should be than my manager. If I agreed with everything my manager was doing, my manager got fired, I would probably be fired also. So the fact that he was assistant and then got promoted probably means that he didn't see things the way that Ray Wright always saw them, but it wasn't his job to override him. Now it's his job. So now we're going to really see how this thing plays out. So I'm excited about that also. Anything else on Dustin Perry before we move on?
Nope.
All right. Is there anything on there about Shea Thompson? He's the director of performance monitoring and assistant in strength and conditioning. What that basically tells me, we talked about this with Brian Peterson and how he worked with basically like watching the players' health and things like that. You hear Kyle Shanahan talk about it all offseason, how we're going to be able to see players' hydration levels, their muscle usage and things like that, and their body temperatures and all that stuff. Well, this is what Shea Thompson is going to be doing as the director of performance monitoring. He's going to be watching and monitoring all these things. These players have probes and stuff all over them as they're exercising and working out, and he's going to be saying, all right, this guy is probably overhydrated. This guy is his muscles are working a little bit harder than what they normally are. What does that mean? He is going to be the guy watching all those things, throwing up the red flags and all that, and he's going to be the guy that's going to be trying to let the team know if he should be working harder, if he should be taking it easy, and all that stuff.
Yeah. So Thompson's another young guy. He's 34. He's coming to the 49ers after spending 3 seasons in with the Cincinnati Bengals from 2016 to 2018. He was a strength and conditioning sports scientist there. He served as the conditioning department as a sports scientist. During his time in Cincinnati, Thompson also served as a sports science specialist with Ignition Athletic Performance Group. Prior to the Bengals, he spent 4 years as an assistant strength and conditioning coach at the University of Minnesota, another University of Minnesota guy, 2012 through 2015. Before joining the Gophers, Thompson interned at the United States Olympic Training Center in Colorado Springs in 2011. He was the head of athletic physical preparation at Fit to Live Gym in Iowa City. Thompson served as assistant strength and conditioning coach at Northern Illinois University from 2008 to 2010. And after serving as a volunteer football strength and conditioning coach at University of Nebraska in 2006, he was promoted to assistant strength and conditioning coach, where he spent 2 years in that role, 2007, 2008. He played linebacker at Buena Vista University for 4 years, earned a bachelor's degree in exercise science from the school. He also later earned his master's in kinesiology from Northern Illinois and in 2009. So there seems to be a trend with the University of Minnesota guys.
So I was going to ask you if any of them were overlapping in their history, because that's Shea Thompson, that's Dustin Perry, and Brian Peterson. This whole staff just seems.
Well, Peterson is 34, so they had to be in school at the same time.
Yeah, that's it. But does that mean that they were there at the same time, though? I don't know. It's really interesting, man. That's pretty cool to see. And Shea Thompson is one of 3 assistant strength and conditioning coaches that we have now. Shea Thompson is going to be doing that in addition to the performance monitoring, along with Aaron Hill and Michael Nicolini. So I don't know if you have anything on those 2 that you want to discuss, Aaron Hill and Michael Nicolini, but those are going to be the 2 of the 3 assistant strength and conditioning coaches.
Yeah, so Hill, he's 28 years old. First season with the 49ers as an assistant strength and conditioning coach. Prior to the Niners, he spent 4 years, 2015 through 18, as an assistant strength and conditioning coach at Vanderbilt University. Before joining Commodores, he had an off-season internship in the strength and conditioning department of the Carolina Panthers in 2015, so he's also been in the NFL. He also served as a strength and conditioning intern at University of Minnesota in 2014, 2015. He played linebacker at Minnesota, where he appeared in 47 games, registered 192 tackles, 5 forced fumbles, 4 interceptions. He was a 2-time recipient of Minnesota's Butch Nash Award for competitiveness on and off the field. He signed with the Rams as an undrafted free agent in 2014 and was later waived following training camp. He's got his bachelor's and master's degrees from Minnesota.
If we say Minnesota one more time, I'm going to turn purple.
You're not lying.
It's crazy how much is coming up here. So I guess we know what the tie is there. Someone fell in love with what they were seeing over there, and I think that they're bringing it here with the 49ers, along with some innovative technology and things like that. So, guys, brighter days are ahead, man. This is going to be pretty much the end of our breaking news segment. I don't think I have much else to add to it unless Nick wants to touch on anything else, man. We wanted to give you guys a quick rundown of who the hires were, what their responsibilities are going to be, and I think we did that justice. For all of you who are out there who are working, you can't necessarily follow Twitter, read all the articles. We bring you this something you can watch on your lunch break. Nick, anything else, bro?
No, man, just make sure you guys hit that like and subscribe button. Make sure you follow us on all of our social media avenues. You can check that out at nothingbutniners.com. You can see our Twitter and Snapchat, nothingbut9ERS, Instagram and Facebook, Nothing But Niners, all spelled out. You can, like I said, follow us on nothingbutniners.com. You can check all those out. Got a slew of great writers over there coming out with a ton of great articles. So make sure you guys check those out. And if you're not already a subscriber here, make sure you hit the like and subscribe button. Set your bell for notifications for when we go live. We have live shows Tuesday nights, Thursday nights, and Sundays. So, just make sure you hit the like and subscribe button and keep following. Appreciate your guys' support.
Yeah, we're going to have a couple of podcasts dropping this week also. So you guys make sure you keep your ears out for those, okay? Look for us on iTunes, Stitcher, TuneIn, iHeartRadio, Google Play, SoundCloud, all those good platforms. You guys look for us there. Search NB Niners or Nothing But Niners or NBN or 49ers, and we'll pop up. I guarantee it. So, all right, Nick, let's wrap this bad boy up, man. Prepare for glory.
Anticipate pain.
But always remain faithful.
We out.